Hello again everyone, Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be dissertating and talking about duplicated signs in a natal horoscope. Now, when someone has interceptions in their natal chart, they will have duplicated signs as well. Now, interceptions in a horoscope, if you have one, you're going to have one in the opposite house. Now, same thing with duplicated signs. Obviously, if you have duplicated signs on, say, the second and third house cusps, you're going to have them on the 8th and ninth as well. It's just the way it's going to work out. Now, as a result of the Earth not being a perfect sphere, you're going to have a distortion of houses, which in many cases, you're going to have them, and what you will have is you're going to have a result in many occasions. You will have intercepted signs, you will have the intercepted houses, and you'll have duplicated signs and houses as a result. Now, having duplicated signs will give stronger emphasis on the characteristics of that sign, and be in those houses that sign is on, it will give a strong emphasis with it, and you'll have some integration and amalgamation with those particular signs, with those houses and that sign that is on the house cusp of the consecutive houses. Now, let's say, let's take an example. Let's say that somebody was to have Gemini on their first and second house cusps. Well, we know that the ascendant, the first house cusp, is the physical body. It's the appearance, the outlook on life. We look at it's the outer demeanor characteristics that are readily expressed. The second house is connected with our values, things of a monetary nature, our self-esteem, our self-worth. It's how we feel about ourselves. It's our tangible assets. Now, if somebody were to have the first and second house in the same sign in Gemini, this could be a person that whose values can be strongly communicated, being in the sign of Gemini, and these values can come out strongly through their outer personality. And these things, as I stated before, may be communicated extensively because Gemini is a loquacious sign and can be verbose and can communicate these things very well. Things of a tangible value, tangible assets, an emphasis on that may come out through the person's outer personality. It can indicate that this person, that their first impression that they give others, say for a prospective employer, can very well help them generate income, and they can, in this example, Gemini rising, the outer personality can be very vivacious, lively, versatile, being able to do many things, and a prospective employer may be able to see this, and in turn, this person with Gemini rising could very well be able to generate a solid income through applying these things, such as multitasking, being versatile, showing vivacious nature at their place where they are generating their income. So this is something where basically, in essence, you have a strong integration of these houses, and the characteristics of those signs will be prominent in those areas of life. Now, let's say somebody were to have the sign Cancer on the second and third house cusps in their natal chart. Now, the second house, as mentioned before, governs our values, our self-esteem, self-worth, things of a monetary nature, income generated. The third house is communication, siblings, our short journeys, things in your, we can look at the third house, our early education. Now, if somebody were to have the second and the third house in the sign of Cancer, this could show strong characteristics of Cancer in these areas or sectors of life in the person's chart. such as the second house, showing very nurturing, emotional nature, protective in connection as far as their money, their resources, their possessions, and siblings may play a role in terms of their possessions. It can be somebody that shows a lot of sensitivity toward their siblings, and I guess you could say perhaps their early education, and these things, this connection with the siblings and early education may strongly impact this person as far as their values go, which is the second house. The early education may figure also prominently in the person's their income, their ability to generate money, and the things that they value. And these things will have this person, because Cancer would be on the second and third house cusp in this example, this person can show a very nurturing, sentimental, and sensitive attitude toward these things. So it's basically, when you have duplicated signs in a natal chart, look at the houses, of course, and blend in the nature of the sign along with the house cusp, and as far as the duplications go. And duplicated signs will be consecutive, of course, and you'll always have, if you have one duplicated sign, you'll have that same duplicate, you'll have the sign opposite of it duplicated on the opposite house cusp. If you have second and third house duplications, then you'll also have the 8th and the 9th house duplicated as well. So basically, that about pretty much covers it for having duplicated signs in a natal chart. And people, stay tuned next time, where I'll be talking about having the sign Aries duplicated in a natal chart. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone. Because a person astrologically is the sum of all their components in their natal chart, and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.